to be the affirmative action officer for the EOC, and whenever they have a big building job, they had to have a certain percentage of minorities.
25%?
25% minorities, and I was the one that supplied those minorities with those jobs.
The first woman too.
And the first,
Hired the first woman, construction worker.
I was the first woman.
So you're proud of that?
Oh yeah. Even now, there's some of the people that see me, they're still thanking me for turning their life around. Because a lot of the big construction jobs at that time with the EOC, they wouldn't hire you if you had been in jail or if you had a record. But I would go to the construction site. If you were building in the Fillmore or the Hunters Point, you're going to hire some neighborhood people, or we were going to shut your job down. You know, so that was one of the things I'm proud of. A lot of the fellows I see now, and women, will say, well, sure, thank you for the things you did, because it changed our lives. And that makes me feel good. Because one incident I can remember, the Black Panthers headquarters was on Farrell and Fillmore. Oh, well, yeah, on the corner, right on the corner of Farrell and Fillmore. And at that time, the police was getting ready to raid them. They was going to shut them down. So at that time, I was with the EOC. So what we did with the elders in the community, we got out in front of the headquarters of the Black Panthers and said, well, those are our kids in there, and we're not going to let you kill them. If you want to take them to court, that'll be fine, but you got to go through us. And that was one of the proudest days of my life, when all the black men were standing there holding hands. Nobody ever hear about that. And just so happened, one of the policemen was right in front of me, was one of the fellows I used to be on the force with. And I looked at him right now, I said, you know, I can whip you. So I talked to him, I said, you know, I said, now when this starts, I'm going to tear you up. Now they're going to get me, but I'm going to get you. And boy, he started sweating. And I meant that. I wasn't afraid, but I had made up my mind to die. We had made up our mind. Men in the community and ladies, we said, hey, you're not going to do this to our kids. Wow. So that was one of the proud moments of my life, to stand up to him. And he came to me and talked to me after that.
Yeah.
And
so there are probably a lot of things that you're proud of, but what would you say that you would want people to remember about you?
Well, I would say that I was a caring person. I cared about other people, and that came from my family and at my time. Because as I said earlier, all blacks had to stick together. And so she'll tell you, I'll always try to help you, but now don't use that as you think it's a weakness, because then I'll put you in your place, you know. I think we all need to stay. I don't care who you are. You could be the president of the bank, or you could be the fellow on the corner. Just another thing in line by being all black. I think we all should use our skills to help each other.
Okay. Any regrets, life?
I just regret I didn't stop using and drinking earlier than what I did. That's just not a regret, but it could have been better.
Sure.
Yeah, because you learn to put all that behind you. You can't go back, go around kicking yourself in the butt, but you have to benefit from what you've done. That makes sense?
Yeah, absolutely. You had a full life, and sometimes over the course of living your life, you don't kind of go back and look and think about your legacy or so. Is there anything that you could have you would want to change
in terms of my life?
Yes. Yeah.
No. Okay. I'm satisfied with that. One of the good things that happened to me was Chris. Because I was hot on, I was a deep fellow on the street until I met her. And I've always been able to listen. So when she tells me something, I listen to it, I take it in. But we've always been that way together. We've been able to talk about anything. And that's another thing that's very it makes me feel good to be able to go out and talk to her about anything. And talks to me about anything. Puts me in my place every now and then,
Yeah.
but I smile and keep on stepping. Yeah, but we've had a good, I think we met at a time we both had something to offer each other. And that's why we've been together as long as we have. Am
So-
I saying it wrong?
No, you said it right.
So it's been a couple of years now, being off of being out of EEOC. Is it about 3 years? 2, 3? Well, however long it's been, how does that affect you? How do you feel about that?
I feel good about it. I feel real good about it, and I'll always, if there's anything I can contribute to them, I'll do it now, but I don't go in and tell them what to do. If they come to me and I don't say, you do this, I say, if I was you, I would try this.
He retired at 80.
Yeah,
and
that's
he's
right,
gonna
I'm
be-
80
You're gonna be 84.
in September.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. And so September, what?
The 8th.
The 8th. And we're coming up on that, and that's one of the reasons why we're putting this together. We're going to put this on the website.
Yeah.
And we've been saying we're going to do this for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else you want to add? I think we're kind of coming to the close of this interview. But is there anything else that you want to add to this?
Now, did you talk about your mother? How you feel about your mother?
Oh, that was my daughter. My mother was, yeah. Her name was Ida Mason. And she was always proud of her, of me, and I've always been proud of her. You know, because I tell people sometimes about, in those days, I could tell when my mother was upset with me, by the way, because she'd just come out on the front porch, and she would call me, she would say, "Sonny boy." That was my home name. So I knew everything was all right. But if she came out on that porch and said, "Sonny boy," that means you got the strap when you get home. And then, I don't know if I told you about that, we stayed 1 block from the school. And it was a big open field between the school I went to and my house. So every day when I come in from school, my mom was, when I had did something, she said, "Boy, you been bad in school again." I said, because there wasn't no telephone, wasn't one telephone in the block. And that lady charged you a nickel to use it. And I never could figure how she would know what happened at school that day. And I was grown, and we were talking, I think I told Chris about this before. We were talking about some things, and my mother told me, said, "Boy," I said, "you thought you were so smart when you was in school. You remember you used to come home and I'd have that strap on your butt?" I said, "Yeah, Mama, how you know? You ain't had no problem." She said she and the teacher had made a plan. She would stay about 1 block from the school, but it was a big open field. So what the teacher would do if I'd been, and I was mischievous, and the day I'd be bad in school, she'd just wave a white towel out the window. The signal for her said that meant to tear his butt up when he get home. Them old folks had ways of doing it.
Now, was that your mother that did most of the discipline, or was your father?
But no, first one got hold to you. No, we're not gonna wait till Daddy come home, or wait till Mama get here. No.
So you talked a little bit about your mother. Talk a little bit about your relationship with your father.
We had a very good relationship with my daddy. But one thing in those days is that it was all about respect. You respect your parents. If they tell you to stand on your head, you had to believe you could stand on your head. You know, and the thing about corporal punishment, but no such thing. You got your butt whipped if you did something wrong. And you did not what they call sass your parents. Whatever they tell you to do, you do it. And most of the time you find out it worked out that way. Because they always had your best interests at home.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, my dad used to have a razor strap. He used to make me go get the strap. Get a whipping. I think Chris had me tell you. One day I got smart. I was known as a little smart one around the neighborhood. So me and him was sitting on the back porch. I said, "Dad, you know what I've been thinking about, sir?" He said, "What, boy?" Because he didn't talk that much at first. I said, he had told me, he said, always tell me to go get that. She's getting ready to whip me, you know. I said, you always telling me to go get the strap to you. I said, you gonna whip me if I go get the strap? He said, that's right. I said, you gonna whip me if I don't go get the strap? He said, that's right. I said, you go get your own strap then. Man,
So did you get it worse?
Ooh, every time you hit me, go get my strap. I got it.
I see a picture up on the wall. Look, of Miles Davis. Their type of music that is it jazz that you.
Yeah, my daddy was a musician.
Oh,
Yeah, he was a saxophone player. But I was into jazz. Yeah. My daddy was a musician. That's how he made his extra money, by playing saxophone.
now, did you play any instruments?
They tried to get me, and I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Try to take the time to practice.
You was a sportsman.
Yeah, I love sports. Yeah. I was a basketball, baseball player. Too small to play football. I played it on the sandlot, but not in school.
Okay, I think we pretty much covered everything. We want to thank you for the candid interview and sharing with us.
Anything you think you think that we left out, or anything you want to expand on, just give me a call.
Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is as I get the pictures, I'll probably be going through. There might be a couple things,
I'll
but
be glad.
if there's nothing else, then I want to thank you.
I want to thank you. It gives me a chance to look back on my life. And thank you very much for doing this. And we'll get a copy of this now.
Yeah, I charge, but we'll.
Beautiful. Can't charge too much.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
And thank you, Anna,
All right.
for your time.